I've always liked the idea that our thoughts and emotions have layers. The things we say in everyday conversation, that all comes from the surface. Underneath, we have all these sub-layers, feelings and concepts we don't share with everyone. But those things are real and personal and meaningful. They give life its richness. It's from those sub-layers that I create poetry.
This is brewing. Ah, the cover. So it probably took over 400 tries to get this shot right. So I wanted very little distortion in the spoon, and I wanted you to be able to make out my reflection. Reflection is an important theme in the book, be it self-reflection or the reflection between man and nature. So I wanted to make sure I incorporated reflection in the cover.
Reflection. Water-looking glass. My reflection asks, are you real or illusion? A lot of the poems are definitely very introspective. I think a lot about my place in the world, my past, my regrets, who I am now, how I've evolved, and who I wish to become. One of my poems speaks to that relationship between your past self, your present self, and your future self. It's called autography, meaning photography of the self. Autography. I am not myself. The I of today is the projection of the me of yesterday, holding its shape, but of a different form. Each moment I am renewed, each renewal cradling new. Sometimes we disagree when we speak to each other in memory or imagination. Still, we meet at every moment in the present, a simultaneous, continuous greet and fleet to and from me in each instant. In mirrors, I see two sets of eyes, a double exposure of I upon myself, and one pair closes as the other opens, with a me behind each blink. I wink at myself, confident the changes may distance us, but this elastic lifetime will never snap in our harmonic tug-of-war. A mighty hand plucks it like a music string, resonating life song, and we ride the waves of its backbeat like photons on themselves.
Yeah, I threw photons in there. Photons are particles of light, so you'll see lots of hints and flavors of physics and philosophy in my book. I think the combination of the two gives us a deeper understanding of the world around us, especially about concepts like space and time.
It seems time is not sliced in equal portions. The meantime is always longer than the nice time. Physics and philosophy can help us get a better grasp on the world we live in, but they have their limits. There's a lot we'll never be able to know for certain, but it's all worth contemplating. Poetry is a great place for those spiritual thoughts.
If poetry is prayer, then I'm praying for signs, hints, clues to answers to our questions, direction, reasons for pain and rejection, a cure for the mind's infection of confusion, vision that escapes delusion, a fusion of the physical, practical, logical, and spiritual, something universal, guidance, something of reliance compatible with science and intelligent design, something difficult to find and liberating once found, something sound which rings in tune with truth. I'm praying for the youth of today, that their futures hold stable footing on our past, that our accomplishments last longer than our hearts and lungs, that the songs we've sung, the lives we breathe and bleed and leave behind amount to something, that we're not useless nothings once here then gone and never back again. I'm praying for honesty, confession, and clemency, for a holding on to the real bonds and a letting go of the headstrong who've wronged us without remorse, who've endorsed problems, hate, closed-minded debate, and unyielding pomposity. I'm praying for balance, that bad times for me create good for someone else, that overcoming hardship elevates our mental health. I'm praying for freedom, that there may be rules and laws of this place, but ultimately the choices are ours, the hours are ours, that this time is mine despite its confinement, despite my temporality, that I might become who I choose to be while destiny may lend a guiding hand, that the earth, the stars, the sun, Mars, man, all things small and all things grand might have purpose in this perplexing wonderland we call reality.
Nature is often an inspiration for the poems I write, and it's an inspiration for my paintings too, like this one. So this is an abstract lilac. You get the idea that there's a flower there, but there's no distinct leaves or petals. It's just kind of the feeling of a flower. That's the nice thing about abstraction. It's a little more liberating than realism. Surrealism is that way too, like in this one. I took a normal flower, which is a bird of paradise, but I'm letting it do something that it couldn't do in nature, and that is to morph into a bird and fly away. Or this one. This is kind of a cross between surrealism and realism. I used some made-up fish and some real photos of fish, and I created a scene that's never happened before in real life. Like here, I actually included a hidden picture. There's a seahorse in the middle here, if you look at it right. That's the great thing about painting. You can do anything. So like painting, poetry is an outlet for creation, for saying something in a way that no one has ever said it before. It's an outlet for lingering emotions too, a way to get them out. Some of those emotions can just eat at you if you don't let them out. Somebody didn't love us enough, or someone loved us too much and then stopped. We're lonely as hell, and we know we're not alone, but knowing so doesn't make us any less lonely. Show me to the place where they changed their minds. Take me to the factory where ambivalence is made. Let me have a word with the manager. I'll speak on our behalf. I'll tell him of the cool, open side of our beds. I'll let him know how many times we've replayed the same scenes, intervened in those memories, as if it would make a difference. We all have it rough sometimes. We have bad experiences to go along with all of our good experiences. But the idea is to take all of those experiences and learn something, and just to brew something from them, to brew something better.
It is amazing how we can take and give back to the world as fire takes and gives back to wind. But there are flames of a different form inside us. For like fire, we breathe oxygen, but unlike fire, we are not stifled by the wind. We can take all of it in and make something of it. Like every time you've ever hit a straight on the river and all those other times deuces beat your aces. Like every night you've spent awake with clenched eyelids staining your pillowcase, and every morning you've ever woken up with swollen eyes and a smile on your face. Because to the human soul, experience is a synonym for inspiration. I'm talking about earning both sides of every penny. They're all lucky. Some just happen to land face down the same way we all fall flat on our faces sometimes, but listen. Breaking up is the static saying, find a better connection. Hitting bottom keeps you grounded. Coming up with new ways to cut corners when you have to keeps you well-rounded. Every night we turn our backs to the sun, it's still shining when we finally come around. And when you finally come around, you'll quit looking on the bright side and start living on it. So here's to that identity, to that quality of humanity, the ability to take the ingredients of the world and brew poetry. Here's to every stroke it takes to stir the pot, to knowing whether it's ready or not. Here's to finally reaching out to the world saying, open up and taste this.